Welcome to another AVAX update. I have not made an update about this coin in a very long time, and now that it's actually going up, I think it's time to make an update about it. I made some changes to the chart, as you can see. I'm gonna talk about this soon, but before I do that, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our Discord server. We post semi-daily updates here, sometimes even multiple times a day. So if you are interested in getting updates before we actually post these videos, then consider checking out the memberships. Every single member gets access to the server, so like I said, check them out. And let's see what's happening with AVAX. Right now, after finding support in the second wave move down at the 0.786 support level, AVAX formed a first wave move to the upside right here, which was only in 3 waves. And the second wave move down was also in 3 waves. And right now we are working on the third wave of these first 2 waves, or of this first wave right here actually. And that third wave should get to approximately $54.63, and we are very close to that, but keep in mind we still have to touch that level. We cannot really start going down right now, so we still have to get like that level before we get some kind of correction. Now this to me looks like a 1-2 setup, but I'm not really sure. If it is a 1-2 setup, we should get a third wave of that 1-2 setup very soon, and then a fourth and a fifth, and it is very likely that the third wave tops way above the 200% extension. Maybe it will top somewhere between the 2.618 and the 2.272 extension, so somewhere between $63 and $77. But like I said, the minimum target is $54. Now, what are these 5 waves for? Well, to be able to confirm that the second wave move down right here is actually in, and by the way, this is the second wave of this very big 1-2 setup, to be able to confirm that it's in, we need to get a 5 wave move up, and right now we are working on the third wave of these 5 waves. Now, what would this achieve? Well, once we complete these 5 waves, that will confirm that 1, the second wave move down is in, and 2, that the first wave of the main third wave move to the upside is also in. As you can see, I went ahead and changed my prediction, so I took the Fibonacci retracement of this 1-2 setup right here, and that gave me these targets for the third wave. I know this can sound absurd right now, $490 only for the third wave, that sounds crazy, but you know, during an altcoin season, this would not really surprise me if it actually happened. Now of course, there's going to be a chance that it does not happen, and there's going to be the chance that we do not get to like $500 in this cycle. Maybe we only get to like $250, but honestly, would anyone complain? I mean, if you bought down here, you would be okay. And, you know, this support level right here is not for nothing. I mean, the best time to buy was down here, not right now. The price has already gone up like 4x from this low right here. I mean, what were you doing when we were down here? Well, that's what the support zone was for, you know? It held support, so it was only a matter of time before we actually had a pump. Now, keep in mind, we also had a cross on the bull market support band just like 2 months ago. And if you can remember what happened in the previous cycle, well, not in the previous cycle, actually the previous few times when we had a cross on the bull market support band, for example down here, this actually marked the bottom, the bear market low on the AVAX chart, and as you can see, a couple of months later, actually 2 months later, we got this very big move to the upside, and AVAX just went crazy. It went up like 7 or 8x, and right now AVAX seems to do the exact same thing again. Now of course, I'm expecting it to go up a lot more than that, but if we only go up like 7x from where we're at right now, would anybody complain? Now let me also go on the monthly chart for a second just to see what's going on with the RSI. As you can see, the RSI is currently not even being close to being overbought, so things are looking very good, and if we somehow get to like a couple of $100, then that would put the RSI at like, let's say 80, 85, 90, 95. And then we would be overbought. So right now there is potential to the upside just because the RSI is nowhere near close to being overbought. It did not even get to the overbought territory when we got this huge move to the upside, so things are actually looking very good. Now keep in mind, in the previous cycle we did not really form a 5-wave move to the upside like many altcoins did. This to me looks more like an ABC structure rather than a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, which means that the bear market is also an ABC structure, and maybe in this cycle we will get another ABC structure for the third wave. Now that would not make that much sense because a third wave needs 5 waves, so I kind of want to see 5 waves up. And I mean, you could look at this as an ABC structure, so we still should get like these crazy numbers anyways. Things are obviously gonna get bullish very soon. Now, when is that going to happen? When are things going to get bullish? Well, in order to answer that question, we need to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. As you can see, Bitcoin dominance is currently closing a red wick on the monthly chart, which shall not surprise you if you watched my previous videos. As I said, every single year in November, Bitcoin dominance closes a red wick, and we are doing the exact same thing again. Now, what will happen in December is still unknown. If you look at what happened in the previous cycle, in December we went up after we had a red wick on the monthly chart in November, and then in January we started the real altcoin season. So in November, this was not the altcoin season, and even though Bitcoin dominance barely went down here, this is when most altcoins actually started to pump like crazy, so us getting a pump right now is not really surprising. Now, like I said, it is very possible that we get a new cycle high in December and then we get the altcoin season in January. And you know, when I say we get the altcoin season in January, I don't mean that the whole altcoin season takes like 1 month. No, we should start it in January. And, you know, it will most likely end in like 6 or 7 months after that, maybe 8 months, maybe even 10. I'm obviously not expecting Bitcoin dominance to just drop like 20% in 1 month. I don't think that's possible. Now, as you can see, we are in a triangle right now, and I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to hit this right here, this trend line. And I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to bottom somewhere between 40 or maybe 41% or so. And then in the next bull market, we should touch the trend line again. We will most likely get to like 50% dominance, and then we will continue doing something like this until we actually break out or actually break down. We'll see what happens with that. I also want to look at the Bitcoin chart for a second. Bitcoin is at 100k right now. Well, almost 100k, 95k. And as you can see, we are getting a correction, but this is not really a correction. Be serious. I mean, when you look at this from the 4-hour perspective, it does not really look like anything. And maybe we are about to get a fourth wave move down. It should be very fast because Bitcoin does not really go down in November in a halving year. As you can see in the previous cycle, we went up 43% in November. And in the cycle before that, we went up like 6%, 5.5%. And the following month, in December, we went up 47% in the previous cycle and 30% in the cycle before that. So I'm expecting December to be very bullish. And maybe we will get some kind of correction in November and we will only go up like 30% for the whole month, which would not be the end of the world. And then we pump in December. Or we could just start pumping now, and if we get like a 30% pump or a 46% pump like we got in the previous cycle, that could put Bitcoin at like 150k by the end of the year. Now keep in mind, I'm still expecting Bitcoin to top somewhere between 255k and 321k. I know that sounds weird and that sounds absurd right now, but keep in mind, I was the same person who said that Bitcoin to 100k is possible by the end of the year when we were down here at like 49k. So far I have been right, and I believe I'm going to keep being right. So yeah, if you look at the Bitcoin monthly RSI, we are nowhere near to the RSI levels that we were in the previous cycle, so this obviously is not a top and we should obviously continue to go higher and higher. My suggestion is stop listening to the people that are saying that Bitcoin will top at like 130k or so. I think that's just a dumb idea and I don't see that happening. I think that would not even be the worst case scenario, so if someone is telling you that Bitcoin will only top at like 130k, you know, maybe reconsider watching that person, maybe think about it, you know, because at the end of the day, the RSI is nowhere near close to being overbought like it was over here, so why would we say that a top is already in when the RSI is not even the same? And also, in the previous cycle, we topped in November of the post-halving year, and in the cycle before that, we topped in November, or actually December, of the post-halving year. Right now we are not in the post-halving year, this is only the halving year. The post-halving year is 2025. So that's why I'm expecting Bitcoin to top somewhere between October and November of 2025. I don't know why people are saying that we are close to topping, it makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, I'm expecting AVAX to continue going up and we'll see how high it goes. Honestly, this all depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin gets to like 255k, it will get to a market cap of about $5 or $6 trillion, which means that of course AVAX will be able to go up 10x. I mean, from where we're at right now, a 10x would put us at about $430, and that would put the market cap at about 180 billion. Is that unrealistic considering the fact that Bitcoin has a chance to go to a market cap of about 5 trillion? I don't think that's unrealistic, but we'll see what happens. Keep in mind, crypto is a very dangerous game to play, so be careful what you buy and what you don't buy. And of course the altcoins will go up, but remember that at some point you will need to sell. Don't just hold to your coins. I mean, if you hold your coins to the bear market, you're only going to lose money. But that's not financial advice, and you should do your own research. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our Discord server, where we try to post multiple updates a day. And yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.